Hello and welcome to Crawley Town, where today Brighton and Hove Albion take on Chelsea, the league's 10th place team in Brighton, hosting the current champions who are starting to pick up a decent run of form. Kick-off in just under 10 minutes time. It will be an intriguing contest in a WSL season which has reached roughly the halfway point for most teams before the impending winter break, with everything still to play for.
10 down, 10 to go, and what a season it's been so far.
I have given all myself, all that I had left to give, all the reasons I confront, you're my reason left to live.
Some incredible goals.
What a goal!
Goes for goal and finds the back of the net.
And some drama too.
It's not a good challenge.
Some magical moments. And some forgettable ones too.
Karen Carney to take the penalty. And it's saved by Berger.
Arsenal have blown everyone away until last week.
It's on second for Stanley!
Which means it is still all to play for.
Our very own Alex Scott there, running the rule over the Women's Super League season so far. Let's have a look at the teams arriving today. The home of Crawley Town. And it's the Chelsea team getting off the bus who've arrived from the capital, hoping to continue their brilliant run of form of late. And some friendly conversations between the two managers ahead of this game, and here come the Brighton team. And ahead of kick-off, let's have a look at the WSL table. One game has already been completed. Manchester City beating Birmingham by 1-0, which means they draw level on points with Arsenal going into the Christmas break. Here, though, let's concentrate on Chelsea and Brighton, who are just a single point above Yeovil going into this game. Chelsea are fourth, still away behind the top two, but in excellent form. Well, I think Christmas is here. Magnificent efforts for the gentlemen in the crowd there ahead of this game. Brighton against Chelsea, and Sue Smith. Another really tough game for Brighton, who, let's be honest, are struggling this season so far.
They are, and it's going to be tough for Brighton. I think they know that. I think they know that Chelsea will have more of the ball. They'll dominate that. I think what Brighton have to do is they've got to work hard. They've got to stay organised and compact defensively, and then hope that, you know, they can get something maybe on the counter-attack or through a set piece. But yeah, Chelsea have really picked up of late, and they look like the Chelsea of last season now.
So let's have a look at the relative form guides. Couldn't really be more contrasting. As you can see, Brighton got that single win in the Women's Super League against Yeovil at home. They won 2-1 there. Otherwise, it's been losses. They come into this 3 losses in a row, whereas Chelsea, well, since that 5-0 defeat to Arsenal, they haven't conceded in 8 games in all competitions, and they come into this off a 4-match winning streak in the Women's Super League. It is a bit of a short season, Sue. They're still obviously putting pressure on the top two, but it's going to be difficult because of the really slow start they made.
Yeah, you're right, and Chelsea will probably look at that Arsenal game and think it was an off day for them. Arsenal were absolutely brilliant on the day, but yeah, it's just put them that little bit further behind the likes of Arsenal, the likes of Manchester City. But what's great about it is it's still such a competitive league. The fact that there is still 4 teams with Birmingham that are all competing for that title, and hopefully it'll go down to the last day of the season.
Well, it's already looking pretty exciting at the moment. Let's have a look at a couple of key players to watch for each side. Victoria Williams for Brighton and Hove Albion. really experienced player at this level, Sue, and could be key if Brighton are going to get anything from this game today.
Yeah, she's a key player for me. I played with her at Doncaster Bells, and fantastic there, intercepts the ball, and what a first time pass. Here she uses her strength and her body. But what impresses me is when she wins the ball, she's then, you can see here, she sees danger. So she sees, okay, there's danger, I need to come across, I need to cover. Wins the ball well, but then passes the ball out, and she's key in both boxes. So defensively you need her, but also when they get into the opposition half from a set piece, a corner, a free kick, she's dangerous in front of goal.
So that's Victoria Williams for Brighton. A more offensive player we'll focus on for Chelsea, Ji So-yeon, the South Korean international. I mean, when she's on song, she is unplayable.
Yeah, so she is. She's one of the best players in the Super League for a good number of years now. Love watching her play. So intelligent, finds those little pockets of space, and then what a ball that is. A no-look pass, which then leads to a goal, and that's what she's so effective at. She gets the ball, and you know, as an attacking player, if she's on the ball, she's probably going to be able to give you it. She's going to find it. But then she's got the ability to do this. Drive and run, lovely bit of skill, and then finishes it off with a goal. So she's just key in everything that Chelsea do well, whether it's assists, whether it's goals. This was a vital goal. You know, they needed that, getting the 1-0 win against Reading. Just fine. You just see her in such clever spaces and pops up with goals.
Teams are in the tunnel then, as Brighton will hope to end 2018 with a positive result. It's not been great for them so far, just 4 points from their 10 WSL games so far, 1 draw away at Everton, and their only win came at home against Yeovil. And Yeovil in action as well today. They're at home to West Ham United, a 3 o'clock kickoff there. We'll keep you up to date on the other games going on. Everton and Bristol City and Reading against Liverpool have already kicked off, but here come the teams at Crawley Town, the Broadfield Stadium. A club with such promise, brilliant facilities, but hasn't translated to results on the pitch yet for Brighton. Surely it's just a matter of time. They've got some really experienced players, but they're going to have their work cut out against this resurgent Chelsea team. It is the final round of fixtures in the WSL before the winter break. Every side in the league will hope to end 2018, in the league anyway, with a bang. And here are your 2 teams today. Starting with the home side, Brighton, 2 changes to the side that lost their last WSL game to West Ham United. There's a first WSL appearance for Maya Letitia. The England under-17s captain made her senior debut in the 5-1 victory over Crystal Palace in the Continental Cup in midweek. The other change sees Felicity Gibbons come into the starting 11. 3 former Chelsea players are among that Brighton lineup. As for Chelsea, unbeaten in 8 in all competitions, and they are unchanged from the side that beat Reading last time out in the Women's Super League. Ji So-yeon scored the winner that day, which was her 50th for the club. Chelsea, though, still without the injured Fran Kirby. So there's Chelsea all in yellow today, and Brighton in their home strip, the blue and white stripes. And there is one of the many former Chelsea players in the Brighton ranks, Laura Rafferty, who's only just moved to the south coast. And there is your refereeing team today. Looks like the coin is ready to be tossed. No other strange methods to get the game underway. And as you mentioned earlier on, a big win for Manchester City against Birmingham to take them level on points with Arsenal, who aren't in action this weekend. Just the 1 Continental Cup game to go for them. And then it's the Christmas break, which they in particular will be very grateful for with their injury list. So the 2 huddles. Final thoughts from both teams. And Sue Smith, Brighton, as I've mentioned, good players they've got in their squad. Very good, experienced, technical players. Just hasn't quite clicked yet.
It hasn't, and it's going to take time. It's a new team that's being built. You know, Hope Powell's trying to get together the players that she wants, the style that she wants to play. And it's tough because when you move up into WSL 1, it is a completely different level. The pace is different, and you have to get used to that. And I know something that they've said, they have to be more clinical in front of goal because they get opportunities. They have to take them. WSL 2, maybe you might get 10 opportunities. Here, you might just get the one. So it's you've got to be clinical, and I think that's something that they've been working on, and particularly today, I think that will be massively important.
Well, she, Ini Umatong, the Nigerian international, will be a huge player for them throughout the season. Really the only one who is looking capable of scoring goals, at least from open play, as we saw in the build-up. Victoria Williams and other defenders who've got on the score sheet from set pieces. Ini Umatong scored a fantastic goal against Arsenal. They ended up losing, of course, but they took the lead really just down to her pure strength and persistence, wasn't it, from Ini Umatong, and she's a really important player for Brighton.
Yeah, I think the best compliment I can give her is she's a nuisance.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a defender, you would hate to play against her because she's so physical, she's quick, wants to get on the ball, wants to make things happen, and she's really effective for Brighton.
Here come Chelsea. Here's Karen Carney. She's just scored the one goal this season in the Champions League against Fiorentina. That's an excellent cross. Erin Cuthbert lays it back to Bachmann. Nearly found G. It's going to be picked up here by Blundell. And now Sophie Ingle coming forward. Blundell's cross. And already Brighton on the back foot, having to do the defending. That's good hold-up play by Umatong.
That's what she'll have to do, because the pressure, all of the ball will be with Chelsea. She has to, if they get the ball, she has to hold it up and keep the ball in play and just allow players to get forward and support her.
So a good start by Chelsea.
It's quite interesting to see where Maya Letitia was going to play, because I know for the under-17s for England, she plays as the centre-half, she's their captain, but she's actually gone into a midfield role, so they haven't changed Tori Williams and Laura Rafferty as two centre-halves, which I think is a positive.
Here's Bachmann, trying to get past Gibbons. Good movement, Blundell. Early pressure from Chelsea, just evades Drew Spence. That's not a great clearance. Here's Ingle, and now Ji So-yeon! Oh, brilliant save by Marie Hourihan. Just pushed it onto the bar to stop Chelsea scoring inside the first 3 minutes of this game.
Hourihan does ever so well there. Real quick shot from Ji So-yeon, surrounded by players. She probably only seen it late, got a very good touch to it, and what she does well is she gets up quickly and gathers the ball. So, yeah, really well done from Hourihan. Brighton don't want to concede so early on.
Former Chelsea goalkeeper Marie Hourihan didn't play as much as she'd have liked and moved on as well to Manchester City, and now the #1 at Brighton. Just having a quick look at whether that crossed the line. It certainly didn't. It was a brilliant stop by Marie Hourihan. But a very quick start from Chelsea, just what Emma Hayes would have wanted from them. Here is G. Carney. It was Barton getting her foot in. It's a loose pass, Umatong. Just couldn't get the return ball back. Eriksson, who's played every single minute of this WSL season so far. Anderson. That's well read. And cut out by Laura Rafferty, Northern Ireland international. Umatong once again just got there first ahead of Millie Bright. She was fouled. There's going to be a free kick to Brighton. It's a bit of a thankless task in Umatong has been given, and has had to execute throughout this season, but she does it so very well.
She does, and she just gets on with it. You know, it's so much hard work, seeing very little of the ball, but when she does get the ball, she's effective. And it looks like probably the nearest player to her is going to be Kaylee Green. I think she's going to try and get forward as much as possible in support of her.
Ingle, Wales captain. Eriksson to Carney. She was expecting Anderson to make the run there. Spence, a lovely flick towards Karen Carney. Goes down. And here's going to be a free kick to Chelsea.
Yeah, it's a definite free kick. Good positive play from Karen Carney, and you know, it's just Ellie Brazil there with a little trip. You can see how Chelsea have started, can't you? Very much on the front foot.
Not something they did at the early stages of the season. Certainly something in their minds. It's low from Carney, cleared away by Rafferty.
I think she's disappointed with that free kick, but it's quite clever that she's gone with the ball on the floor, looking at Brighton's centre-halves. They're tall, they're very good in the air, so something a little bit different, just didn't quite get the execution right.
Really come away with it. It was Kaylee Green. It's a Brighton legend there in Kirsty Barton. Has been at the club since 2011, the longest serving player. And had to defer her final year of university in order to turn pro ahead of this season. It's a bit of a miscue from Williams, but good clearing up by Rafferty. Cuthbert pulling wide.
Yeah, Rafferty does well there. It's exactly what you need to do from your centre-half. So Tori Williams went to get the ball, completely misjudged it, but she was there covering. Always covered just in case.
Here's Williams, spent a year at Chelsea. When he first entered the WSL. Gibbons fires it forward for Umatong to chase, and Hedvig Lindahl was miles out of her goal. She did just enough. It's a bit of a miscue now from Millie Bright, and the shot is saved by Hedvig Lindahl. Really good play by Aileen Whelan.
Great play, and that will give Brighton so much confidence. Good pressure, wins the ball, but then manages to get a decent effort there, and Lindahl had to just claw it out of the air. But I've been impressed by how Brighton have pressed. When they've pressed, they've all gone together and forcing Chelsea into the odd mistake.
Aileen Whelan has already scored against Chelsea this season, a 3-1 defeat in the Continental Cup from a Brighton point of view. This is encouraging. Put the flick on by Williams, out of play. But a couple of scares for Chelsea in quick succession there. First from Umatong. Hedvig Lindahl, actually, give her credit, she came out and did just enough. And then Whelan, as you say, as she fell over, she managed to get the shot on target.
Yeah, and I think that long ball where Umatong she'd beaten the two centre-halves, and I think Lindahl actually did well to realise that, anticipate it, and come out and get the clearance.
Umatong will give chase once again. Oh, it's a mistake by Lindahl. Umatong delays just maybe a touch too much. Whelan can't get it on target. Chelsea look very shaky. Brighton haven't been able to capitalise.
Well, initially I praised Lindahl for her coming out, her anticipation, but she got it all wrong there. What she did well was she recovered. You know, Umatong, brilliant, actually waited. We thought, has she delayed it too much? No, she waited for support. Aileen Whelan did well to come off the line, gets a good header, and Lindahl just manages to get across. But great bit of sort of a couple of minutes from Brighton.
But as you said, Sue, in the build-up, Brighton have got to take these chances. They haven't done that, and you just wonder if this is going to come back to bite them. This is good, though. Here is Umatong waiting for some forward runners. They weren't very quickly coming, and Brighton are forced to play it back.
Not sure if people back home can pick it up, but you can constantly hear Hope Powell regularly telling the players what to do, you know, telling them when to press, when not to press, and the players have certainly responded to that at the moment.
And case in point, there you go. Hope Powell, constant instructions, and at the moment it's working and they are listening. That's going to be a foul. And a free kick to Chelsea. Ellie Brazil once again strong in the challenge on Karen Carney.
Yeah, it was, you know, probably not the best touch from Karen Carney there, and I think, you know, Brazil was well within her rights to go for it.
Here's Bachmann. It's good pressure, but she's shown great strength to go around Gibbons. Greeny got a foot in. Here's Ingle. Drop of the shoulder. Bachmann. Space to cross. Can't find a yellow shirt. Ramona Bachmann. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing at the World Cup. Get reaction to the draw at half-time, which saw England put in the same group as Scotland.
That was always going to happen.
Yeah, I was going to say. It was talked about endlessly going into the draw, and it was inevitable, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We were actually talking about it off air, saying it's a shame because we want them both to go through. It's, you know, who do you support? Well, obviously being an England fan, but
still hope they both go
through. Of course, that's the thing.
Yeah,
it'd be brilliant if that could happen. Because Scotland have improved so much.
It's good defending by Williams. Here's Barton. Brighton are finding some space. That's a poor pass cut out by Ramona Bachmann.
Chloe Peplow's done well for Brighton. She's just finding the ball, you know, finding little bits of space, that holding midfielder role, and finding a pass, because I know she hadn't been starting a few of the games early on in the season. She's worked her way into the team, and fair play to her. I think she's a good player.
It's Chloe Peplow and Ellie Brazil, former Birmingham pair. Do produce some excellent footballers, Birmingham City. And both of them just 19 years old, so still a long way to go in their development.
It's a bright future for them, isn't it?
Great, you can see Hope Powell really enjoying the pressing game that Brighton are deploying at the moment to great success.
See, I bet Brighton have watched how Reading played against Chelsea, because they very much did that. They very much pressed high up the field, and at times were causing Chelsea problems. They couldn't play the ball out, because you know that they want to play the ball out, and it's just about being brave and doing it. Some teams don't, and they sit off, but when you do challenge them, as we see with all great teams, they can sometimes give the ball away, and then it's about taking your chances.
Eriksson. Anderson. Drew Spence forcing the clearance by Rafferty. One too many footballs on the pitch. G. Now Ingle. Neat play by Chelsea. Cuthbert's shot charged down. So really, well, I thought that was a good challenge by Erin Cuthbert. I think she did perhaps take the player as well. Certainly got the ball.
She worked so hard, Erin Cuthbert, considering she's just sent her forward. She's just taken that shot. She's disappointed that it got blocked, and she's straight away. It was actually a really good challenge, but went through the player, which you can't do. But I just love her work rate, how tenacious she is. You know, that's the sort of player you want in your team. You know, not only has she got the quality going forward, but she's got that work ethic.
I think that's what's going to be so intriguing about the England-Scotland game, isn't it? So many players playing against each other who are in the same team. That's a brilliant ball to Ji So-yeon. And a good clearance, but it's straight to Drew Spence. And it just trickles into the arms of Marie Hourihan.
That's a problem for Brighton. They cannot switch off at any moment, because there's so much quality in that Chelsea side. Ji So-yeon just finding a little bit of space out wide, and she's got the ability then to pick out Drew Spence, and who can't quite get hold of it. We've seen her certainly score goals from there before. She's got the ability to do so, but couldn't quite catch that one.
Slightly bizarre season for Drew Spence. She scored 9 goals this season, but none in the WSL, all being in the Continental Cup and in the Champions League.
She's such a good player, though. Technically very, very gifted. Knows how to play football, links up the play very often. And yet it's strange how she hasn't actually scored the WSL.
Well, certainly a favourite of Emma Hayes, who looks a bit ponderous on the Chelsea bench. And it is half-time in the 2 o'clock kickoffs. 0-0 between Everton and Bristol City, and Liverpool beating Reading by 1-0 at half-time at Adams Park.
That's a result that Liverpool desperately need.
They have dropped off a little bit of late. Here is G. Will bustle her way through again. Rafferty's had a very good start to this game defensively, looking good against her former side. Oh, look at that, Erin Cuthbert, incredible, and is just crowded out by Victoria Williams. That was Lionel Messi-esque.
Absolute class. I love little skills like this. That's absolutely brilliant. What a skill. And then there was no way she was getting past Tori Williams. No. Absolutely no way. Lovely bit of skill. That's what you want to see, isn't it? It's not just me.
No, no, no. That was incredible.
Unless you're the defender.
No, yes. If that was me, I'd just probably just walk off down the tunnel. Here is Bachmann. Oh, it was a good delivery, and Eriksson couldn't quite get onto the end of it. Here is Carney. Might fall here for Bright. Cuthbert just didn't quite get the connection. That is very neat play by Peplow. It's given away. Back to Backman. It is players like Erin Cuthbert who are going to have to really step up, though, in the absence of Frank Kirby. Well, that pass hit Ji So Young, and here come Brighton. It's a decent cross towards Green, and a free hit, and skied by Chloe Peplow.
That was a good delivery from the right-hand side, in the right area. And then Chloe Peplow will be disappointed with herself because she's certainly got the ability to, to put a very good strike in from that distance. She probably had more time than she thought. Took it first time, probably could have brought it down.
I was going to say, from a Chelsea point of view, they weren't getting to her very quickly, were they? They've certainly caused the champions a few problems, Brighton, so far. Nothing to show for it, though. Blundell, now Backman. Good defending by Gibbons. You could hear Hope Powell's encouragement. Defensively, they haven't been very good this season, but on this evidence, Brighton certainly starting to look much more organised.
You're right, I was just going to say, defensively at the moment, they look really well organised. Looks like they've got their tactics spot on. Like I say, it's just how long can you do that against the Chelsea side that are so good on the ball and have got so many quality players that can punish you. I think certainly no mistakes from a Brighton perspective. So far, so good for them, though.
They've also managed to create a good few opportunities against Chelsea sides who really, since that 5-0 defeat, as we said, just haven't conceded at all since then. It's been a long, long time since the ball hit the back of the net against Chelsea. It's a neat play down that far side. Here is Carney. It's going to be a throw. Lovely flick by Carney. Again, Barton doing well to track the runner of Anderson. Corner kick to Chelsea. It's Carney's delivery. It's towards Eriksson. Now there's going to be a goal kick to Brighton. Midway through the first half, so far so good for the home side. Gibbons sends it forward. Millie Bright just got there first. Here is G. Good tracking by Peplow. Brazil has made the run forward. It's gone further towards Umatong. Great touch by Green, and has slid in Ellie Brazil. Only one to aim for, and Hedvig Lindahl just got there ahead of Umatong.
Again, Brighton picking up the second ball, getting the ball out wide, and Brazil getting a first-time delivery, and it's not a bad delivery, probably a little bit too close to Lindahl, but you just wonder, could Umatong have just got across the goalkeeper, just made it a little bit more difficult for her? It's hard when you're the only player in there. It's where do you go? You know, do you go back post, middle, or front? And she's just gambled probably on the wrong way, but certainly promising signs for Brighton. Been quite brave on the ball as well, certainly in centre midfield. You know, young Maya Letitia, it's not her usual position, and yet she looks very comfortable in there.
Right, she's quietly gone about her business.
Yeah.
And yes, just to clarify, she is related to a certain Matt Letitia. Be forgiven if you thought that, as I did. But
Yeah, I did as well.
it's not the most usual name, is it? But either way, good football name.
It is.
Anderson. Now Carney. And the flag is up against Karen Carney. She was speaking with the BBC on Friday night, saying that she didn't want Scotland in the group either for England.
It is just because you know each other so well. You're playing in the same teams as each other, and I said it'd just been nice if they could have been separated, maybe facing each other a little bit later on in the tournament. Still be a great game though.
Oh, absolutely. Reaction to the draw of the World Cup, which took place yesterday at half-time, so do stay with us. It's good play by Williams. Whelan. It's a lovely ball. And Umatong will try and get there, just a little bit too much on that.
It's getting unlucky though, wasn't it? Quick ball, and you could see what she's trying to do, just a little bit overhit. What battle between them two, by the way, Umatong and Millie Bright. Would not like to get in the way of that.
No. It's still well clear of that,
yeah.
On that pitch. Williams with the clearance. G. Blundell. Spent some of her youth career at Brighton, Hannah Blundell. See Spence tried to play that round the corner. She's got a second chance here. Just behind Ramona Bachmann.
How many times has that happened?
Seriously.
2 footballs on the pitch.
I'm sure Brighton are trying to employ the multi-ball system, but it's not working. That's it, put it back in the bag. There you go. There he is. It's a lovely ball. Brazil will give chase towards Anderson, who did well. Brazil is extremely pacey. And they're claiming she came back from an offside position. The flag has stayed down. Kaylee Green only finds the yellow shirt of Magdalena Eriksson.
Yeah, the system certainly works for Brighton because they've got that pace up top, haven't they? So they've got Umatong, got Aileen Whelan, and Ellie Brazil. And then you've also got Kaylee Green coming from midfield, so yeah, you've certainly got pace in abundance there if you need to sit back and hit on the counter.
Carney. Cuthbert and Spence can't quite sort themselves out. Lindahl has yet to concede a WSL goal. It was unfortunate that Carly Telford was between the sticks at Kingsmeadow when they shipped 5 against Arsenal.
And you know, I don't think any of them were her fault either. And I know as a goalkeeper you probably look and say, could I have done better? But
I didn't think it mattered who was in goal that day.
Totally agree.
It's a good challenge. Petplow, good ball, but again, Hedvig Lindahl, she's so decisive, isn't she? I think Uma Song was actually offside anyway.
Yeah, she's quick off a line. That's what you want from your goalkeeper. Like you said, decisive, make the decision, make it early, and at least you know as a defender what your keeper's going to do.
Cuthbert pulled up for that challenge on Ellie Brazil. Barton. And play has been stopped. David Rick not happy about something. Play by Ingle, just got in front of Kaylee Green. Backman, here's Blundell. Past Gibbons, who will try and get back on side. Here is Drew Spence. Terrific ball towards Backman. Great defending. Really well done, Felicity Gibbons.
Brilliant from Gibbons there. You know, she had to get back initially with Blundell, but then again sees the danger, sees Backman, she's the danger player now, leave Blundell, gets in, and yeah, it's just a last-ditch block because there was players in there. G was coming in. Yeah, she does ever so well.
Busy afternoon down that right-hand side, having to deal with Rona Backman and Hannah Blundell. She's done very well so far. And Chelsea haven't really made the most of that corner. So there is G. Cuthbert. Barton will chase Cuthbert. Here is Backman. G. Couldn't quite get there. It was Letitia got a foot in first. Pressure from Chelsea. Anderson. Over Drew Spence. And away by Gibbons. And Petplow won't be able to prevent the corner. Carney's corner. Towards Spence. Here's Ingle. Oh! Off the bar. Great strike by Sophie Ingle.
What a strike this is. This is great technique. You know, just falls to her on the half volley, watches it all the way, gets a head over the ball, and so unlucky to hit the crossbar there. I like Sophie Ingle. Liverpool are certainly missing her quality in the middle of the park.
Late pressure this from Chelsea as we enter the final quarter of an hour of this first half. Ji So-yun didn't get hold of that one.
Certainly been a good game this though. I was expecting it to be very much Chelsea dominating the ball, and Brighton just pretty much sitting back and defending, but they've certainly given it a good go. Been chances at either end.
I hope Powell did say she was expecting and telling her side that they're not going to see a lot of the ball. I think they've seen more of it than perhaps they expected.
Yeah. I think she's probably said take care of it as well. When you do get it, make sure you keep it, because you might not see it for a long period. And they have.
You could argue, well, apart from a very good save from Hourihan and that effort from Sophie Ingle, they've had the best chances really, but they just haven't made the most of them. Just that final pass or finish, just not quite there. It's a lovely run by Anderson. Rafferty there first and cleared by Letitia. Ingle. Great turn by Cuthbert. Just showed a bit too much of that to Barton. Oh, lovely play by Carney. Here is Ingle. Another decent save by Marie Hourihan. Just took it off the head of Hannah Blundell as well.
Cool as you like, wasn't it? Such a good change of pace from Karen Carney. Quality to get a head up. See Sophie Ingle that's gone in there. Decent effort, but straight at Hourihan, but manages to gather it on the second attempt. Yeah, it just makes it look really cool.
Oh, chance down the other end for Umatong. Well, from one end to the other after Marie Hourihan made that save. Bit of a mistake by Millie Bright. Again, difficult opportunity for Umatong on the stretch, but just a few gaps opening up in that Chelsea defence.
She's such a danger though, isn't she? You can see what she's trying to do, just poking it past into the far post. Couldn't quite get her feet right.
And Yeovil against West Ham has kicked off. That was a 3 o'clock kickoff. All the highlights tonight on the Women's Football Show, of course. Spence. It's back from Backman. Anderson. It's towards Carney. Well watched again by Hourihan.
Carney just couldn't get anything on that. Good delivery into the right areas. Good run by Karen Carney as well in front of the defender. Manages to get herself in a good position, but I just don't think, could she get anything on it? I don't think she could.
She's having a very good game against her former side, Marie Hourihan.
And you can see that these players probably have got a point to prove as well. You know, they've been at the club before. You always want to play well against your old club, and I think they've certainly all, I think they've been excellent, Brighton. But they'll just be going in that little bit disappointed. We've created opportunities. We haven't been clinical again. We haven't scored the goals that maybe we should have.
Millie Bright's made a run forward here. Couldn't quite latch onto Blundell's pass. Well, the referee took a long time to decide that that was a free kick. Ingle forward towards Cuthbert. Oh, and Marie Hourihan's dropped it. I think the referee's going to have to stop play. Bit of a clash between Hourihane and Erin Cuthbert.
It certainly wasn't meant by either player. It's just a collision, but if it's a head injury, ref has to stop it, doesn't he, straight away? Yeah, you can see Cuthbert's got every right to go for the ball. She's just going for the ball. I think is it a shoulder that just catches her, or her elbow? Just catches Hourihane in the face.
Just ran into her, didn't she?
Yeah, just going for the ball. She just had eyes on the ball.
There's Karen Carney leading a bit of a discussion.
Getting everyone together.
Very animated, the Chelsea skipper.
And that's what you need, because I think Brighton have been organised. They've been very disciplined at the back, and there's not been that many spaces. But when Chelsea move the ball quickly, 1 and 2 touch, you can see that they're finding a way. They've just created a couple of opportunities, haven't they, late on? And
oh, some wonderful Christmas attire in the Chelsea end there. Yeah, not a huge journey, but one they're enjoying, clearly. They've been in the club shop. And she's going to be so delighted, isn't she, so far? As you say, maybe a tinge of disappointment just because they haven't managed to really test Hedvig Lindahl. Marie Hourihane's certainly been the busier and has done exceptionally well. Be very hard on her if she has to go off.
yeah, they won't want that at all. She's done well. She's been commanding when she's come for the ball. Made a couple of very good saves. Now she's smiling, that's a good sign.
Can never be too careful, of course. No. Looks like she'll be okay to carry on for now, anyway. Have a laugh and joke with the referee. Okay, so the referee did stop it for the injury to Marie Hourihane, so I think just be a drop ball. Yep. So there will be a good few minutes of stoppage time then at the end of the first half. Here is Green. A scuffed pass. Here's Spence. Whelan. It's well cut out by Chloe Petplow. G.
Not allowing Chelsea to go forward, are they? You know, the bank of, they sort of get into a bank of 5 and across the middle, leaving just Umatong as the number 1 up top, and yeah, Chelsea's struggling to get through them.
Rafferty, that was a good idea. Too much weight on the pass for Ellie Brazil, but she appreciates the effort.
That was the ball. That was the out ball. Just wasn't the execution that Brazil wanted. She's quick, but not that quick.
Good decisive play by Williams. And that's a bit sloppy though from Green. Here's G. Whelan. Umatongi is going to get there, and Whelan's made the run inside. Oh, couldn't quite nip it past Millie Bright.
She's frustrated with herself. think she knows what she was trying to do, just poke the ball, because, you know, take Millie Brighton into a position she doesn't want to be in. She's got the pace and the power to get by her. I think she was just a little bit caught in two minds.
Here is Spence. It's an excellent pass. Karen Carney just sandwiched in between a couple of Brighton defenders. No chance on the stroke of half-time, perhaps, for Chelsea from the set piece.
Yeah, nice bit of skill from Karen Carney. Manages to get between the two of them, and it is a definite foul. Again, good doubling up from Brighton to get back. They realise she's a threat. Dangerous position, though.
2 minutes added on at the end of the first half. Here is Cuthbert towards Spence. Not far away at all.
Got two dangers there coming in. Millie Brighton and Drew Spence. But again, good defending from Brighton. Made it difficult, wasn't an easy header.
That's the thing, isn't it? Even if you know you're not going to win perhaps the header, it's just being in the way.
Definitely, yeah, put them off.
Well, this could be an opportunity. Flicked away by Eriksson. It looks like Brighton are happy to have what they hold at the moment, taking their time over taking this throw in. Chelsea throw. It's not a great touch from Williams to Cuthbert, and now here's Carney. G. Cuthbert. This is good from Chelsea towards Ramona Bachmann. And that is the end of the first half. Entertaining stuff at the Broadfield Stadium. Ji So-yeon nearly got things going for Chelsea early on, but for a brilliant save by Marie Hourihan. She's had a terrific first half and has kept Chelsea at bay, as have the rest of the Brighton starting 11 this afternoon. A frustrating first 45 for Chelsea. They've been held, and it is 0-0 between Brighton and Chelsea at half-time. Sue Smith.
I think you know when it's been a good first half, when it goes so quickly, and Brighton really give it a good go. I thought defensively very good, but then were a real threat going forward, particularly Umatong, but I thought Aileen Whelan was excellent. Brazil very good. You could name quite a few players. Chelsea a little bit frustrated, I think, that they've not been able to break Brighton down, but are still a huge threat with the quality of players that they've got.
Let's have a look at the key incidents then of that first half. It was a really quick start, wasn't it, by Chelsea, and I think it was really inside the first 3 minutes or so. They could have taken the lead. Ji So-yeon with a terrific effort, an even better save by Marie Hourihan.
It was, and Chelsea started really brightly, and I think we thought, oh, this could be, you know, quite an easy result for Chelsea, but that save, I'm sure, give them a little bit of confidence.
And then Whelan down the other end. That's the first save Hedvig Lindahl had to make. Brighton starting to create a few chances, just didn't take them.
They did a great save from Lindahl after a mistake, does well to actually recover, and what a strike this is from Ingle.
Sophie Ingle, yeah, and she also had another opportunity here.
She's done well to get herself in the box. Considering she's the defensive midfielder, she makes those late runs, and they're difficult to pick up, players that do that.
And this is the Umatong chance for Brighton late on.
Just as well shows her strength and her pace, and just can't quite, you can see she's just trying to poke it into the far corner, but Lindell makes the angle, narrows the angle down quite well.
Look at that programme, mince pie, Christmas hat, feeling festive. And a highlight, actually, it's been a terrific half, but I'm going to be talking about this for quite some time yet. This is the Erin Cuthbert skill, and I think this is going to be repeated again and again. This might be made into a GIF, I think, on Twitter.
Oh, definitely. Unbelievable bit of skill. You know, this is what you want to see, that sort of stuff. It's got so much quality. You know, wants to do these little skills, wants to make things happen. But then she's also got that other side to her, that real work hard off the ball. And yeah, I like her as a player. I think she's going to be a danger for Scotland.
Yes, she certainly will be. That's going to be one hell of a game, England versus Scotland. We'll have reaction to the World Cup draw in just a moment, but here on the BBC Women's Football coverage, we try to give you a window into the most interesting stories in the game, and today we're focusing on West Ham United, who have a game against Yeovil. In a moment, we'll hear from Rosie Cometa, who as she takes us through her phone's photo album in Scroll and Stop. But first, a look at their managing director, Jack Sullivan, who at just 18 years of age has been given the keys to the kingdom at West Ham. A documentary film crew have been filming with him, and the results are available on the BBC iPlayer and BBC Three. Here's a little taster.
Okay, I'm Jack, I'm 18, I'm the youngest football boss in the UK for a women's football team. That was the one, that was good. I felt that one.
After leaving school at 16, Jack's now facing the biggest challenge of his life.
I'll be running £1 million business next year.
Is that scary?
Turning a club of part-timers
I was working at a bowling alley.
We're pig farmers. I was working 3 different jobs.
into a fully professional team.
I've never felt so much pressure in my
The
life.
coaching team are hard at work making final preparations for the game.
Not a bad effort, mate.
All under the watchful eye of Jack.
It's a big step up, so you've gone from having training sessions twice a week to every day. It's exciting, but at the same time, a big change. This is on the mate.
Is that your advice?
That is my advice.
Number 8 coming on. Good ball in. Oh, Kiernan knocks it into the back of the net. 1-0 West Ham.
Good 3 points in the end.
Good
class.
Do you want a little two-step as well? Hi, I'm Rosie Cometa from West Ham, and today we're going to go through my photos. I don't know whether that's a good or bad thing. I'm going to close my eyes, hope for the best. First picture I posted at West Ham this season, during pre-season, just basically showing that I was enjoying myself. Me and my twin, of course, back when my mum used to dress us the same. It's quite cute, I suppose. That is when I was out in Florida. I was 18 then, and I just played for university out there, looking very tanned. So yeah, great, fond memories. Okay, this one. Whilst playing out in the States, you wrap a little bandage thing around you and you have to write reasons why you play the game. And my reason will always be playing for my dad. You know, when it gets tough and you're in the 89th minute and you feel like you can't get another sprint on board, you do it, you look down at your wrist and you do it for them, you know. So that's when I graduated from university. Yeah, I won't tell you what mark I got, but degree's a degree. Right, this one, not everyday football kit, so yeah, that was a night out. That's last season at West Ham when we won the plate, so that was like a really big achievement for us actually. Right, I think you've seen enough.
That's Rosie Cometa, the West Ham player, with Scroll and Stop. Half-time at Broadfield Stadium, and it is 0-0 between Brighton and Chelsea. Just talking about West Ham United, Sue, another new team. Well, say new, it's going into the top tier, and they've made a steady start, 6th in the WSL table. Few good results, few poor ones, but I suppose that's what you expect really with a newly promoted team.
Definitely, and you know, Matt Beard, I know him really well, great coach, very good manager, knows how to manage the players and get the best out of them. He's got together a squad of players now, probably will bring others in the future, but he's building, and you can see that. You can see some very good results, very good performances, and that's all he'll want. He'll just want that consistency. So yeah, I think they'll certainly come good. They've got good infrastructure behind them, and yeah, I enjoy watching them play.
West Ham United looking for their third consecutive win away at Yeovil. It's currently 0-0. They are 25 minutes into their game away at Yeovil. Let's turn our attention now, though, to international football and the draw for the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup. It's what everyone involved in the game has been dreaming of.
And she scored the winning goal. It's one of the great goals of the World Cup. Scores for England. Oh, what a goal! Fabulous goal! So wonderful strike. Long range effort from Lloyd. Oh my goodness! Goal! What a terrific goal!
Draw. Well, the World Cup draw was made yesterday. For next summer, it will be live on the BBC. Let's have a look at the pools. And you can see a few of the groups there. The first set, and the hosts, France, in a group with South Korea, Norway, Nigeria, Germany, 2 times winners. And Group C as well. Australia, one of the dark horses perhaps, and there is England, Scotland in Group D. Sue Smith, as we said, it was inevitable, wasn't it? And also Japan in there. That is not going to be an easy group.
It's not. England against Scotland's always going to be a difficult game. I know England beat them in the Euros last year. Was it 6-1? Quite a convincing win. However, Scotland have improved a lot under Shelley Kerr, and I think it'll be a difficult match for them. It always is. And then Japan, the semi-final exit in 2015 in the World Cup. So it's payback time for England in that. I think Argentina will be pretty straightforward, and they should win that. But tough group for them.
Well, let's hear from both managers then, the Scotland manager Shelley Kerr and the England boss Phil Neville.
It's a game of football against a really good footballing nation. They are not many miles away from us, so it's going to add the spice to the game. But it's a game of football. I back my players in any occasion, and the most important thing is that my players are looking forward to it, and it should be a great occasion. June the 9th in Nice, I think it's one that everyone will be wanting to watch.
It's something we were really excited about. Obviously, our first time at the World Cup. And yeah, of course, you draw England in the first game. So, you know, I know everyone will talk about what happened in the Euros, but what we have to focus on is the full group and not just one opponent. So we know it's going to be tough. We knew it was going to be tough, whoever we drew. But it's an exciting group as well.
I think my players are at the best when they're challenged, when they have to play at their absolute maximum. And it's a tough group, and all 3 games are special, and all 3 games have a meaning, which means that my players will have to perform in every single game. The Japan game, the last game, is against a top side, a side that will probably be looking to win the World Cup itself. So 3 brilliant games, and the first one is obviously the mouth-watering one because it's our nearest rivals.
Every game is going to be tough. Even Argentina. Argentina have competed in the World Cup finals before, so we're the absolute newcomers in the group. So we're going to have to prepare as best as we can to give ourselves any opportunity to get out of the group.
Hold on. Well, much more reaction to the Women's World Cup draw tonight on the Women's Football Show, 11:45 on BBC One. Slightly later in Scotland, and an earlier showing, if you'd like, on the red button at 9 o'clock. Before we go into the second half here at Brighton, let's go pitch side, where we'll find Resmin Chowdhury with special guest Eni Aluko.
Yes, hello. Thank you very much. Yes, I am joined by Annie, fresh off the plane, I have to say, from Turin. And Annie, how's life in Italy? I've got to say, 6 goals in 9 league appearances, a hat-trick against Roma. It seems like you've hit the ground running out there.
Yeah, life is good. Life is good in Italy. I think if you would have asked me at the beginning of my time there whether I could score goals and score 6 in 9 with a hat-trick, I would have taken it. So I'm really, really happy. There's been certain adjustments. Obviously, the language barrier is difficult. I've had a few funny moments. At dinner a few weeks ago, I ordered dog instead of meat. So the whole table laughed at me.
How did they all look at you?
Yeah, very strange. So the language barrier is a challenge, but that's all part of being in a different country, different environment, and just growing and learning. But football-wise, it's going well, for sure.
Absolutely brilliant, all part of the adjustment. I've got to ask about your former team. They've had a few chances, haven't they, to get ahead? What have you made of the performance against Brighton?
Yeah, I think it's a tight game. Brighton have proved quite stubborn for Chelsea, and I think actually Brighton probably should be ahead. I think Inian Amotong on the Brighton side has looked a threat. Brighton are definitely playing to put her in behind. I think once Brighton beat the Chelsea midfield line of Drew, G and Karen Carney, they look a threat. I think Chelsea don't look like they've got their normal rhythm. But I think it's one of those where if Chelsea get the first goal, they'll win the game. But so far, I think Brighton have been a very, very tough side to compete against.
Okay, we were hearing just before they were talking about the World Cup draw that happened yesterday. Of course, where were you when you heard the news?
I was on a 5-hour bus ride back from our away game with a bus full of Italians who were very nervous about the draw, who were all in pot 4. And everybody was trying to guess who they were going to get. And obviously Italy got quite a tough group in Australia, Brazil and Jamaica. And obviously England have got Scotland in the first game. So it's a spicy tie, I think, for England, particularly England-Scotland. I did the Euros 2 years ago in 2017. And that was the first game. And it was a tough tie then. So I think everybody's going to look at that game and get very excited, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. The teams are starting to come out behind us. I've got to ask you, speaking of Euros, 2021, it's coming here to England across multiple venues across the country. How exciting is that and how amazing is that for English football?
Yeah, amazing news. I mean, I think we know from 2005 Euros and from the Olympics in England that, you know, when England hosts the tournament, it's amazing and the fans get right behind it. So amazing news, and I think another opportunity for the women's game to keep moving forward and keep growing in this country.
Yeah, okay, and there was a big step forward, of course, with the announcement of Ada Hegerberg being awarded the Ballon d'Or. Of course, it's got publicity for all the wrong reasons, but let's talk about the positives. A female Ballon d'Or winner, the first ever. It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, incredible, and I think well deserved for Ada Hegerberg. She's, you know, the all-time scorer in the Champions League. Great figure for Lyon for many years, scored many goals, and you know, she handled herself so fantastically. Great speech, and I think what she said, I'll echo it. You know, all girls should believe in themselves, and you know, she's a shining example for the next generation, for sure.
Absolutely, such a special message. Annie, great to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Back to everyone on commentary. Robin, back to you.
Thanks very much, Reshmin. Two teams just coming out onto the pitch here for the second half. Much more chats with Eni Aluko and Reshmin about all things women's football on the Women's Football Show tonight, 11:45, right after Match of the Day 2 on BBC One. And a little bit later in Scotland, 1:45 and 9 o'clock on the Red Button. So, Sue Smith, pressure on Chelsea. If they want to keep up the pressure on the top two here, they need to win this game.
They do, and I think that will have been said at half-time. I think they will have said, at times, you've looked like the Chelsea of old, the passing, the moving, the quick play, the quality on the ball. But Brighton have stopped you from playing, so I suppose we have to credit them in the way that they've adapted themselves, the way that they've, you know, stuck to their game plan that they've been given, because it's worked. So you just think if Chelsea can continue with their 1- and 2-touch passing, the movement, the way they interchange positions, it'll be very difficult for Brighton to keep it at 0-0. But the way that they've performed, they certainly deserve to have gone in at the break at 0-0.
I'm sure she would have been telling her players that beware the first few minutes.
Yeah, because they'll come at you like they did in the first half. And, you know, Hope's so experienced in the game, she'll know that will be, that's what Emma Hayes will have spoken to her Chelsea players about. Get at them, get an early goal, and then let's see what happens. Let's see how they react to that.
Turned 52 yesterday, Hope Powell. And I think a positive result today would be on top of her birthday list.
Great present that, wouldn't it?
Not bad. Couple of false starts and we are underway in the second half. Brighton 0, Chelsea 0, as darkness descends on Broadfield Stadium. It is 3-0 to West Ham United away at Yeovil Town after 34 minutes. You'll be able to see all the goals tonight on the Women's Football Show. I do recommend seeking out that documentary on the iPlayer on the West Ham women. It's Chelsea trying to attack with Anderson. Just seen out of play for a goal kick to Brighton. Always a threat down that left-hand side, Anderson. Delivery is usually right on the money.
Yeah, that's where Chelsea's width often comes from. Wide players will come in and your wing-backs or your full-backs will get forward and provide that. And like I say, they've got real quality, both her and Blundell on the other side.
It's a nice play by Brighton, playing it out from the back. Really brilliantly done. Here is Aileen Whelan. And an ambitious effort, to say the least, from Kaylee Green. I think my abiding memory of her from this year will be her receiving the usual footballer's treatment for cramp by Phil Neville on the pitch at St Mary's when Wales held England to a goalless draw. Such a brilliant game, and that was sort of become an iconic image that just Phil Neville he just forgot, didn't he, that you're a manager now, Phil.
You're not a player. It's just an instant reaction though, isn't it, I suppose, because he's played for so long. That's what you do. If you see a player down with cramp, you help them out, and yeah, he clearly forgot his position, I think.
Just look down, Phil, you're wearing proper shoes and everything.
She was superb in that game though. Never ever stopped running.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised that she got cramp. Here is Cuthbert, and that had to be well timed by Felicity Gibbons. That was very dangerous, as Erin Cuthbert was right in front of her.
Timed it to perfection. I think in the first show, and this is the second, does well, gets enough of the ball.
She's had a very good game as well. You just fear for them because one mistake and the quality that Chelsea have can make them pay, and it'd be so undeserved from a Brighton perspective because they've really done ever so well so far, but still a long way to go.
Yeah, well, I think that's something that they looked at, Brighton, because I think in a couple of games they've maybe made one mistake and they've ended up losing the game because of that. They've played really well, but then that one mistake's cost them, or they've not been able to score and they needed to be more clinical. So they're things that I'm sure Hope will have been working on them every single day in training.
They do come into this off the back of an emphatic victory against Crystal Palace, admittedly a team, they're in the WSL 2. They beat them 5-1 in the Continental Cup, so very good result to come into this sort of game off the back of. Showing that they can actually score goals.
Yeah.
Here is Drew Spence. It's good play by Erin Cuthbert. Hurdles the challenge of Rafferty and gathered by Hourihan.
Great centre-forward play this. Real good first touch initially to hold the ball up, but then on her first touch she then spins, looks to drive at the defenders. Once you get in the box, defenders have got to be so careful, especially because she's got that quick feet, and just a shot that she managed to get away wasn't the quality she wanted.
Well, the flag stays down on Erin Cuthbert, and another good save by Marie Hourihan. My initial thought, though, was that she was offside.
She certainly looked offside to me. Oh, it's so difficult to tell from the angle that we've been given. But again, Marie Horan does well to stand up as long as she possibly can, doesn't give her the option. So if you go down early, then a striker knows which way to put it. But they're two efforts that I think Erin Cuthbert would have thought I should have done better with. She's got the quality to do that, put the ball in the corner.
Still just 20 years old, Erin Cuthbert, and I think that's just the one thing that's maybe lacking a little for the youngster, the young Scotland international. Just not quite as clinical as she'd like, but I'm sure that will come.
Yeah, definitely. Everything else is there.
All the attributes. I'm sure she'll be a thorn in the side of England when they play each other in the World Cup. Peplo's ball forward, and Umaton will put pressure under Eriksson, who's done well. Lundell. You can still hear the instructions of Hope Powell. She's not going to have a voice at the end of this. Oh, that's well played by Ellie Brazil. Got there in front of Anderson. Umatong is in the middle. And Brazil just couldn't quite find her. Easily cut out by Eriksson.
But you can see the first thought in Brighton's minds when they go forward like that and they lose it, it's recover back into your shape. And you can probably pick up Hope Powell saying, recover into your shape. And you say they've done it so well, it's just can they maintain that for the 90 minutes, because that is hard work. You know, you're running 30, 40 yards up the pitch and then you've got to get back.
It's one way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Corner kick to Chelsea. It's Cuthbert's delivery. It was Magdalena Eriksson again throwing herself at it.
Again, it's not an easy header for her. You know, you've got two players in and around her there. I think it's Laetitia and Tori Williams.
And that's another thing they've done so well from these set pieces. There's been a few times where they haven't won the header necessarily, but they've done enough. There's excellent play down the other end. Brazil. Again, her square ball, can't find her. Millie Bright's clearance isn't the most convincing, and it's going to be a corner kick to Brighton.
I know it's so easy for me to say sat here, but if she could have just picked a head up. I think it was Aileen Whelan was coming in at the far post and she looked completely unmarked. But again, quick break. Millie Bright actually does well to get back and defend initially. Poor clearance after that, but she managed to stay with the player.
And here comes the corner. It's well defended by Millie Bright. Green just runs it out of play. Here is Brazil. Bit of a tired touch. Thankfully, both sides have a full bench to choose from.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Bethany England at some point for Chelsea. Every time I've watched her play this season, she's been quality. She's been very unlucky, I think, not to start some of the games. but what an impact player to have, to bring on, make something happen.
And as if by magic, Sue, just being informed that Beth England is about to come on. Do you have some sort of line to the Chelsea bench? Here is Ramona Bachmann. Well, she is pulled back by Felicity Gibbons. First real mistake the left back has made today.
Yeah, it was just quick feet, wasn't it, by Bachmann. Took Gibbons inside to then go outside, and she knew she was beaten, so I suppose a foul there you think isn't as dangerous as allowing her to get the ball in.
Well, they've done well, haven't they, from these set pieces defensively, Brighton, so far. They want to give Chelsea too many opportunities, though. It's a very good position. And a bit of a wasted opportunity there, just nestled on the top of the roof of the Brighton net.
Yeah,
it was Anderson.
It was disappointing from a Chelsea perspective. I know you could probably go and look for the far corner there.
That's an excellent ball, actually, by Williams, and really good charging down. Here is Kaylee Green. Green towards Umatong again. Chelsea cut out the cross. Seen that on so many occasions this afternoon. It's an interesting point, though, Sue, what you said about Beth England. The stat that came out of this week ahead of this game was that Chelsea have used more players than anyone else in the Women's Super League this season. 21 different players, which is more than anyone else. But I think they did do it last season as well, didn't they, when they became champions? I know a lot has been made about Jose Mourinho and Manchester United and their heavy rotation. And actually, I do think it's something that Emma Hayes does regularly. So I'm not sure it can be levelled at her that that's the reason why they may have struggled this season. Here is Aileen Whelan. It's just opened up for her. And Hedvig Lindahl forced into the save, way too close to the goalkeeper from Aileen Whelan.
She's certainly a threat, Aileen Whelan. Really confident, brave, wants to take the defender on. Can't believe nobody actually went and addressed her and actually stopped her from taking that shot. You know she's going to go in field there on her left foot, but just straight at Lindahl.
And Erin Cuthbert on the deck. Carney with a bit of space now. Now to travel very far. Plays it against Rafferty. Carney, away by Williams. Again, good defending. Kaylee Green. She may have had a toe trod on. Chloe Pepler was taken out, and that's going to be our first booking of the afternoon. It is a booking for Magdalena Eriksson.
Yeah, I think it had to be. Pepler was just giving a give and go, just about to go, and got dragged down.
So here is Beth England on for the final half an hour. Drew Spence withdrawn.
Looks like Beth England's gone up top, and Cuthbert's dropped in a little bit.
Here is Cuthbert.
Beth's so versatile, though. She can play just behind the forward, she can play out wide, she can play in midfield. I think I've even seen her play wing back. So lots of ability, technically very good, and she'll certainly want to come on and prove a point today.
Scored twice in the 7-0 victory against Yeovil midweek in the Continental Cup, which sealed Chelsea's path to the quarter-finals, and actually Brighton might also get to the quarter-finals of the competition midweek when they take on Yeovil as well. Win will guarantee it. They may not even need that, actually. And I think if nothing else, Chelsea will be targeting that trophy because that's the one domestic trophy that has eluded Emma Hayes and Chelsea so far. Won everything else. It's not been a very lucky competition for them. I remember when they lost to London Bees on penalties.
Yeah, I think their focus has probably been elsewhere, but you know, going back to your point on that, they've had a very big squad and they've rotated it, and we wondered how they would cope with that. How would good players cope with sitting on the bench? But I think Emma Hayes has done a fantastic job in actually keeping them happy, because they're in all competitions. You have to have a big squad now to be able to compete and rest players at the right time.
Well, and you can see this, it may have put paid to Arsenal's title challenge. Obviously, they're still top of the league, but such a thin squad. Emma Hayes certainly doesn't have that problem. Nor Hope Powell, actually. Full bench, which is not something we've said about many of the teams this season. Anderson, Carney, G, just wide.
Real chance for Chelsea here. Anderson does well again to get forward. Kaz Carney, little bit of time and space to pick out G. That's where you just see them just nestle in the bottom corner, don't you? Just hit it with the outside of a foot, just too much whip. Took it away from goal.
Big chance for Chelsea. Brighton about to make their first substitution of the game.
I don't have a line to Brighton.
Who do you think it is?
Dan Bewitt.
You've done it again. Seriously, what's going on here?
See, Dan Bewitt's had an injury, so I think she probably would have started otherwise.
Being the captain, of course.
Yeah.
Here is Whelan. That's a good ball. Oh, off the post. Ellie Brazil, great movement. The best chance of the game, surely.
Great bit of play from Brighton here. Good vision from Aileen Whelan. Sees the run of Brazil, who just come in off the line, shows her pace, and oh, she does everything right. Manages to get enough on it to get it over Lindahl, but just not enough to get it in past the post.
How is this still 0-0?
I know, no idea.
So both sides have hit the woodwork in one way or another during this game. And here is Danny Bewitt, the captain, who will come on. And that is the final action of Ellie Brazil. I think that's really harsh, because that's the thing, she's going to be thinking about that now on the bench, but it was going to be made before then, of course. But yeah, she's going to have to sit down that bench and ponder what could have been with that chance.
I think she's had a great game. Ellie Brazil, I think she's been really effective. Whether that's more of a defensive substitution from Hope Powell, quite happy with the 0-0.
Good position this for Karen Carney. It is Carney. Oh, and it's in! Magdalena Eriksson has given Chelsea the lead from the set piece. Brighton fall asleep for the first time during this match, and Chelsea make them pay.
Does so well, gets across the defender, and we spoke earlier about there's not been a free header, there's not been a free shot here. They do just fall asleep, Brighton. You can see Tori Williams makes the effort to go, but just a little bit too slow to try and get across. I don't know if Horahan was unsighted, doesn't seem to make an effort or an attempt at the ball. Good delivery though from Chelsea, and you know, it's a nice finish that. But I think Brighton could have done better. I think they'll be really disappointed with themselves.
Just a simple run, wasn't it, from back to front?
Yeah.
And she didn't really connect with it properly, did she? Just got it on target, and that was all it needed. And it's like Ali Riley is about to come on for Chelsea. So there's Ali Riley. Receiving some final instructions from Emma Hayes. And it's the captain, Karen Carney, who's making way. Just a third substitute appearance for Ali Riley of New Zealand. And now Brighton must respond. They're going to be absolutely gutted that that's the way they conceded against Chelsea. Wouldn't mind if it was just a bit of genius, but it really was a bit too simple. It's England. She's got the better of Rafferty. She wants a corner kick. It's going to be a goal kick. I think Horahan got a touch on that.
England does so well here. Rafferty trying to shield the ball out, but Beth England manages to get in front, nip in front, and get a shot away. It is the right decision. It's a goal kick.
Well, Hope Powell should have been so proud of how her team performed, but she will not be very happy with the way they conceded that goal. And a result from one of the 2 o'clock kickoffs, Reading 2, Liverpool 2. I think probably Brazil was tiring a little, but I just wonder if Hope Powell would have held fire a little bit from that substitution just before Chelsea got the goal. Here is Riley.
That is the difference, isn't it, between WSL 1 and WSL 2. You cannot switch off for a moment. You cannot make a defensive error, or you do get punished.
G, that's a good ball, and it's 2! Beth England heads home her second WSL goal, and the floodgates are opening for Chelsea. Terrific header from Beth England.
She's made an impact already, hasn't she? What a ball this is from Ji So-yeon, though. Just looks up, sees Beth England pulling off the back shoulder of Tori Williams. You know, to see it, but then to actually execute it. What a player she is. You can see Beth England just pointing exactly where she wants it. Not the tallest player in the world, but very good in the air. That's a real clinical finish from her.
And you're absolutely right, incredible pinpoint pass from Ji So-yeon. We shouldn't expect anything less, really, but managing to chip it over Tori Williams, who's about 8 foot tall, isn't she? And just completely on the head of Beth England.
Clever movement from Beth England, though.
Another sub for Chelsea. It's Jess Carter who's going to come on, and Ramona Bachmann is withdrawn. And suddenly the mistakes are racking up for Brighton. They look a bit rattled now. Carter just on for Chelsea. Summer signing from Birmingham. Doesn't look very comfortable for Kaylee Green. G. Blundell. Now here's Carter on the overlap. Oh, wonderful effort. And another good save by Marie Hourihan. It was Ali Riley on the volley.
I tell you what, Chelsea are they've just gone up a gear. You know, since Beth England's come on, I think since they realised they desperately needed a goal, got the goal, and yeah, they've been excellent. Their movement, again from Riley coming in off the line to get on the end of that, and you know, decent pushover by Hourihan.
Get to score for Chelsea, Ali Riley in a competition. Anderson. Oh, it's not gathered. And it's off the line and onto the bar. It was Ingle with the header. And the Brighton goal living a very charmed life at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure who did the goal line clearance. I don't know if it was Kaylee Green or... But she does well because she sees that Hourihan, she's come out completely misjudged it. This is going in. No, it's not.
It's Gibbons.
It is Gibbons. She does so well to get herself back on the line. Yeah, that's good defending. It's just being aware of what's going on around you, seeing that the goalkeeper's misjudged it.
Another good intervention from Felicity Gibbons. Here's the left back. It's a good run by Whelan. Shot is blocked, still trying to battle for it. She's just tricked Millie Bright.
She certainly showed her qualities today, as Aileen Whelan. Looked at danger when she's got on the ball, looked to beat players, have a shot when she's created an opportunity for herself.
Half-time in the 3 o'clock kickoff. It's Yeovil 0, West Ham United 3. And another result from today, Everton 0, Bristol City 2. Here is Riley, tries to pull it back. Just deflects into Hourihan. Brighton can't get out at the moment. Here is Riley. Now G. Ingle. Oh, brilliant pass and a really good interception by Gibbons.
Yeah, great idea from Ingle. Just in between the centre-half and the full-back. But Gibbons knew she was beaten but managed to just get her foot on it. I think she's defended so well.
She's been terrific.
On that left-hand side.
Yeah, Gibbons has had a really good game.
Because at times she's been 2v1 and yet she's managed to cope.
Taking her place on the post again. It's towards Eriksson. Bright retrieves. Here is G. Lovely scooped pass, and Gibbons is there again, and the offside flag is up. So not the result she would have wanted on her birthday weekend. She'll have to celebrate the old-fashioned way, stuffing her face with cake or something like that. This is a really good opportunity for Chelsea. Surely a third, it's G. And another goal, really, of Brighton's own making. They lost it too easily near their goal, and Chelsea clinical once again.
She's not going to miss from there, is she? G, good bit of play, finds her in the area. Beth England knows that G's there, just leaves it. No defender in and around there, just give her too much time and too much space to be able to say exactly where she wants to put it. Lovely quick feet, goes one way, hits the ball the other way. Sends Horahan down to her left, hits it to her right.
Well, it took them a while, didn't it, to get the scoring going, but it just shows what that first goal did to Chelsea.
And what it did to Brighton, I suppose, as well. You know, suddenly that belief went from Brighton. I think at 0-0, they always thought they were in it, always thought they had a chance, and they did. And they played so well up until that point. But yeah, Chelsea, different class when they up the gear.
Here's Umatong. Haven't really seen her much in this second half. Green takes aim. Buick. Williams. It's a bad ball towards Umatong. This doesn't look very promising for Chloe Petplow.
I think Hammy's gone. She's had a very good game in the middle of the park.
Yeah, this doesn't look good news, does it?
Yeah, she's controlled the play in there. She's wanted to get on the ball. She's been quality on the ball. It's not what you want to see.
So she is going to be substituted. Meanwhile, it's Jodie Brett, rather, another former Chelsea player, will come on in her place for Chloe Petplow. She looks absolutely devastated.
It's horrible because you know that she's worked so hard to get herself back into the Brighton team, and then it just gives an opportunity to somebody else. Horrible to see.
Well, let's hope that it's a speedy recovery for Chloe Petplow. 19 years old, plenty of time ahead.
Yeah.
It's Jodie Brett, slightly more experienced midfielder. So into the final 10 minutes The scoreline says it looks comfortable for Chelsea, but it's been far from that. First goal going in after 66 minutes. It took them a long time. And actually, by then, they could have been behind.
They could. Yeah, the scoreline tells a completely different story, doesn't it? And it is just fine margins in this league. And like I say, Brighton are certainly learning the hard way. You have to put the ball in the back of the net when you create the opportunity, and you can't make mistakes against teams like this with quality like G and Beth England, Eriksson.
Here is Riley. Blundell has made the run. Gibbons will clear. It's possibly also a mentality thing, isn't it? Because as soon as the first goal went in, they've just not been in it at all, have they? And as hard as it is, you've got to keep believing that you can get back into this.
You haven't, and you could see that heads did drop slightly, and that's where you need your big experienced players to step up and be counted. And unfortunately, I think the momentum was just with Chelsea then. And it also happens that Brighton will then have to come out a little bit more, which then gives more space for Chelsea to exploit, and certainly know how to do that. But I do think she's made a difference since coming on. I think her movement's been very good, and like I say, a point to prove from Beth England, because she will have desperately wanted to start this game, I'm sure.
Spent last season on loan at Liverpool, where she scored 10 goals in a side that were very inconsistent. She's having to prove herself back at her parent club, and here she is again. And again, Gibbons just got her foot in the way. Free kick to Brighton. Good, just dispossessed. Here's G. And England just under pressure. Couldn't get the ball on target, but again, another perfect ball from Ji So-young.
Unbelievable ball. Just sees the run. I think you know as a player, if you're going to make the run, that G will find you. It just wouldn't come down for Beth there.
Oh, mistake, and over the top from Beth England. Could have had a hat-trick.
She certainly could. I've praised her again and again, but I'm going to have to say she has to do better here. Big mistake from Horahan. Plays the ball in. She had so much time there, Beth England. Could have took a touch. She's probably celebrating the goal before it went in, I think, there. Certainly done that before.
Is Kaylee Green. Again, Ingle just effortlessly getting a foot in and setting Chelsea away. It all started so well for Marie Horahan against her former side. Rafferty. Fortunately, that is a foul throw from Umasong. You could see that.
I think he's done well. The referee, the fact that we haven't spoken about him.
Yep, he's had a few decisions to make.
We normally have a little moan, don't we?
Oh, definitely.
But I think he's done a
enjoy doing that, but he hasn't really given us any reason to, unfortunately.
It's funny, I know a lot of referees and I always get stick from them whenever I do co-commentary. It must be such a difficult job.
Oh, incredible. I mean,
you can never win, can you?
Yeah, no. It's remarkable, the stick they get on and off the field, so always be grateful for those who put their hand up and actually want to do it.
Definitely.
It's Barton. Green to Brett. Just broke down.
She has never stopped running, never stopped working. It's one of those, you know, when you say at the end of the game, have I given absolutely everything? She can certainly be one of the ones that holds her hands up and says, yes, I have.
Rafferty presents it to Riley. England. Now G.
Since the first goal, Chelsea have just controlled it, haven't they?
That's right. I think still a lot, though, for Chelsea to work on, isn't there? Comes Beth England. Good defending again by Brighton. Because, yes, it's a 3-0 win. Most probably another clean sheet, which is good, but they've given up quite a few chances as well. They've had Lindahl keeping them in it and a bit of poor finishing. So still things that aren't quite right, I feel, with this Chelsea side.
Certainly things for Emma Hayes to work on. But the fact that they can just up a gear when they need to get that goal, if they need to bring another player on, you know, they've got that. G suddenly comes to light and she's just unplayable.
She's that sort of player where you don't see her for 10 minutes and then suddenly she puts in this unreal pass to unlock a defence.
Yeah.
That's just her game, isn't it?
It is, and she's a player that you always need to have on the field because she can produce those moments of magic that you can't stop. Like that ball for Beth England was superb.
We need to mention her again, Fliss Gibbons. I know she's going to be on the wrong end of the scoreline here, but should highlight her performance.
Yeah.
She's battling that left-back berth with Sophie Perry. She's certainly taken her chance today. Well, Brighton will go into the break second from bottom. They won't be bottom because Yeovil are currently being thrashed by West Ham 5-0 with an hour played.
Certainly plenty of positives that Brighton can take away from this game, though, particularly in the first half. They won't feel that now. They'll feel really disappointed. I think when they reflect and watch the game back, they'll see that they were in it for, what, 60-odd minutes.
Just the 2 minutes at the end of this second half then. And Beth England couldn't find the pass back to G. Here's England! It's another 2 for Beth England, and it's 4 for Chelsea. Brighton have just taken their eye off the ball, and it's an emphatic victory now for Chelsea.
What an impact Beth England's made. Good ball. Blundell gets a head up, sees Beth England, far too much time, far too much space. No Brighton defender going anywhere near her. But that's a cool finish. She learnt from that first one that fell to her and she hit it over the bar. This time clinical.
It's just very hard on Brighton, but you've got to criticise that, haven't you? Into stoppage time.
I just wonder if they're tired as well. The amount of effort that they put in that first half and the start of the second half. But I suppose sometimes you feel fatigued when you go a goal down and you've worked so hard. It's 0-0, you have that extra bit of energy, don't you?
Well, it could get worse here for Chelsea. Blundell nearly found England. That is it. Big win for Chelsea, another big loss for Brighton, but all the damage done in the final third of the game, really, for Chelsea. Brighton had kept them out for 66 minutes. But in the end, Chelsea's quality just shone through, and perhaps their fitness as well. So Sue Smith, it's hard to say positives to take after seeing that scoreline, but Brighton must take positives from this.
They must do, and people will look at this scoreline and say, oh, Chelsea completely dominated the game. They dominated probably the last 25 minutes, and like you mentioned, the quality shone through, and what Chelsea are is ruthless. When they see something, when they see an opportunity, they take it. They were clinical in front of goal, which Brighton weren't. They will reflect Brighton and they'll look on the game as a whole and say, actually, we did okay and we matched Chelsea for a long period of time. But yeah, Chelsea superb. Last 25, 30 minutes, that's the Chelsea that we know and we love to watch.
So that is it for 2018 in terms of the WSL. Anyway, an emphatic victory for Emma Hayes and Chelsea to end 2018 in the WSL. Full-time, Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Chelsea 4. And you can watch all the highlights from all the games from WSL 1 that have taken place today on the Women's Football Show. 11:45, just after Match of the Day on BBC One. Later on in Scotland, and we're on earlier on the Red Button. It all begins at 9 o'clock. Thank you so much for watching once again here on the Red Button, the BBC Sport website and app. Enjoy what's for the rest of your weekend.